Mbale City yolekedde okuba nga ate efuna ssente ziwerera ddala obuwumbi 103 103 billion. Zino ssente zigenda okuba nga teziyingira ekibuga eky'Embale, zigenda kuba ziyita mu project bayita USMID project, era ng'eno project egezaako okuba nga ate developinga urban centers oba urban cities eziri mu ggwanga erya Uganda. Kati project eno egezezaako okuba nga ate etereeza enguudo z'e Uganda saako n'enguudo za Mbale City wano we tusinzidde wennyini, era ng'oluguudo lwa Nabuyonga Rise, Republic Street, Nabowa, Market Street n'enguudo endala zifunyeemu naddala ku project eno n'enguudo endala nnyingi. Kakati sente zino zigenda okuba nga ate zijja zigenda kuba nga ate zigezaako okuba nga ate zitereza Church Road. Church Road lwe oluguudo oluyita awo nga ku St. Austin ne lweyongerayo paka ne lugatta ku oluguudo olugenda ku Mount Elgon Hotel. Enguudo nga ez'omu Indian Quarters zigenda kuba zifunamu enguudo nga okuli oluguudo luli olw'Ennawuyo lwe baamenya ebizimbe by'abantu. Olwo oluguudo nalwo lujja kuba lukolwako ate luteekeweko kolansi bulungi nnyo n'amataala gabeereko saako ne greening. Enguudo ezimu ku ezo zigenda okubenefitinga oluguudo olukwata enkomo okudda e Kasanvu nalwo lwe lumu ku ezo enguudo ezigenda okuba nga ate ziteekebwa mu project ezo, saako n'enguudo endala nnyingi ezigenda okuba nga ate zikolebwako mu project egenda okuba nga ate emalira ddala emyaka 6, era ng'okuva omwaka guno 2026 paka 2031 tugenda kuba tulaba project eyo ng'eraaninga. Abatuuze mukubiriziddwa okuba nga ate mubeera nnyo positive, muleme nnyo okuba project eno kuba bagamba nti abakulu bali aba World Bank bagenda kuba beetegereza buli ekigenda mu maaso, era nga abatuuze kasa bagamba nti ejja kgenda mu maaso buli kimu kijja kuba kikomaawo. Babakubiriza mubeere positive, muleme kuba nga ate mulwanisa zi project zino. Drainages nazo zijja kuba zikolwako. Waliwo drainage eyo eyitira ddala ku eyitira ddala mu Indian Quarters nekkerera paka Maluku. Eyo drainage nayo ejja kuba ekolebwako bulungi nnyo basobole okuba nga ate enkuba weba etonnye temufuna nnyo mataba naddala mu bitundu ebyo ebya wansi ennyo naddala in terms of drainage. Kakati embeera bweti bwegenda okuba nga ate etambula wano mu Mbale City, naye nga babakubiriza musobole okuba nga ate mwaniriza project eno n'emikono ebiri. Abali mu kye bayita road reserves nammwe babakubiriza mwevacuatinge oba muveeyo mu mutima mulungi. So meeting eno yabaddewo naku lwabadde Lwakuna, yabaddewo wali ku Mbale City Council, era nga abatuuze babaddemu, abakulu ba World Bank babaddemu, abakulu ba Mbale City babaddemu. Ebyabadde meeting ebe tugenda okuba nga ate tukutuusaako olunaku olwaleero ebintu nno bisobole okuba nga ate bitambula bulungi ddala.
The 10 cities, we also have the 31 municipalities and also some districts that are hosting refugees. And the World Bank chose to go to the 3. They have been here, they have been to Gazi, and they have also going to be in Jinja. So we are one of the 3 that the World Bank sampled to visit. So basically today they were here to look at our readiness, how we are prepared, and we have given all the necessary information, and we are ready to proceed and benefit and ensure that Mbale City gets the right infrastructure.
In terms of preparation, what were they looking for?
Of course, the program as a World Bank and the government, and as Mbale City, we are supposed to have quite a number of things in place. Of course, one of them is that you must have the staff. All the heads of departments and some of the section heads must be in place, because a program cannot be implemented or executed properly if the staff are not in place. So that is one of the areas. The other area is to establish whether actually the roads which were selected and other projects have been fully designed and ready for procurement. They are also checking on our readiness to undertake the procurement process and get contractors for these projects. And they also check on how the teamwork besides having those heads of departments, but we must also have the teamwork, the political leadership. They must be ready to work closely and well with the technical staff, and also the city development forum. Those are the areas they were checking on, and also the public. How are they going to receive these roads free of encumbrances? Those are some of the issues they were checking on as we moved around with them. They want to ensure that the road is the right of way. The right of way means that the road is where the roads are going to be made, the way they have been designed. There are things that may constrain the contractors from doing their work. So those are some of the aspects to do with the readiness.
How much money are we talking about from Mbale City?
The entire the project is going to be for 6 years. It's going to run from this financial year up to the financial year 2031. That's the project. It's going to take 6 years. And the total budget for Mbale City in particular, if we put in the Ugandan shillings, is going to be 103 billion. 103 billion. Over that, there are many aspects. Roads, or what we call the roads infrastructure, is supposed to take 70%. The other aspects of 30% will go to ISG, or the institutional strengthening grant, also the drainage, and then also things to do with local economic development infrastructure, like the abattoir, the construction of the markets. All of those are eligible projects that fall under the projects. But the roads will take 70% of that budget.
Which roads are we talking about?
And now, initially in the first year, which is this one, 2026, 2017, 27, and also 2027 to 2028. We have been advised to initially make a procurement for the first 2 years. And in the first 2 years, I don't have the figures here, but the total budget will run up to around 50 billion for the first 2 years. So the procurements we are going to start with will be covering a total budget of about 50 billion. So the roads we are going to work on, which are going to run around 9 kilometers, and also the abattoir, and also the drainage channels. There is a drainage channel behind the bus park, and also the one in Indian quarters, crossing through Maruku. Those are the projects we are going to start with. And of course, the number of roads we have toured to ensure those ones will form the first phase of this program.
In most cases, the general public is left behind when these projects are being implemented. How are you going to make to ensure that the general public take ownership of these projects for their safety?
Yes, we have been engaging them. And in some areas, actually that's how we have actually been able to prepare these projects and get the right of way. So we have been engaging the communities, even during the design of these projects. We engaged with the communities, and even during the project or the project execution, we shall continue to engage the communities. But the message I am passing on is that this money, much as it is from the World Bank, it is a loan, and the loan will be paid with the taxpayers' money of the people of Uganda. Therefore, people should not look at this project as a project for either government or what, but these projects are for the people of Mbale City, so people should look at them as their own projects. And of course, they are the ones who are going to benefit. Such that even during the execution or implementation, people should be able to pick interest in how these works are being done. And of course, in the case there is any issue, then they should get to us so that we can explain to them. But these projects, by the World Bank standards, we have to do very high quality works. Be it buildings, be it roads, whatever we are going to do, they must be of high quality.
Do you want to cite some of the roads that are going to be in this first phase?
There are quite a number. I don't have because in the this phase we are going to work on for a number of roads. One of them is this one. There is a Church Road. This is a road that we first toured from the sports club up to this one here. There is this one road stretching from here up to Tororo Road. There is this other road that passes at the Works. There is a road we are going to work on in Maruku. Then all of those connecting roads, Masawa Avenue in Indian Quarters, plus all of those links, they are going to fall in this phase. But also we are going to work on Namakwekwe Road. That road which passes in front of the Northern Division offices, that one is also in the first phase. And Nauyo, the road in Nauyo is also in this phase.
Okay.
You're welcome.
You have to consider Mbale is the strategic location of the Northern Corridor and is playing a very important role of providing logistics and industrial development, and also all of the amenity associated with the urban supply along the corridor, and it's very important. You are almost the first big point when it reaches to the Uganda soil, right? So keep it in mind and define exactly where do we want to develop what. Industrial is where is the residential area and where the urban citizen can enjoy their life in a safe manner is very important. And how can you pay attention to the environmental in the surrounding city when the city now is expanding significantly, right? Keeping the green belt, separating between the industrial, especially the heavy industry to the residential area is very important. Also, along with that, I also want to remind you that we observed today some of the roads invested under USMID, either the first USMID AF, are actually under very severe damage by the heavy truck load. It's not supposed to be at the design. When we design the road, we design it by the urban road design parameter. We didn't design the road for the heavy truck, and the truck is using it too much. And it's damaging the facility, the infrastructure is supposed to serve the urban citizen. So having said that, in the development plan, you have to make sure that you have to create the venue, the bypass for specific vehicle to pass by, not just mix the traffic volume, because number one is heavily damage the road, but second is also the mixed view of traffic user. It's very, very dangerous if we have an accident happen on the World Bank funded project without any mitigation measures. So it's very important point to take note going forward. And all of the investment that proposed to the new USMID, if there's some of the road purposely to serve the heavy truck, you have to design it differently, using absolutely different parameter of technical design to make sure that the sustainability of the road lasts for long, and also have an adequate contribution from the industrial park to the operation and maintenance of those roads. Because we can't afford our reputation, the government reputation, going to the infrastructure, it being ruined after 2 years or 3 years of using, right? So that's a very important note going forward. The IHG have some fund, and very, very fortunate for us is that both Ministry of Land, Urban Development and Ministry of Local Government are involved in the process of develop the city development plan. So using their expertise, getting their technical support in developing a new plan for Mbale, looking for the long-term vision, okay? We don't look at short-term vision when you do a plan. Look for the long-term vision, and also make sure that we identify the climate climate change or disaster hotspot. Mbale is, as my colleague mentioned this morning, is severely impacted by climate change and natural disaster. And it listed one of the 4 secondary cities in Uganda severely impacted. We have to avoid the situation that we are continue building on the area is supposed to be green area or the wetland. And we identify the right location to service land to build a new development on new residential area to make sure that we not, by building a new structure, not block the waterway or water drain during the rainy season. So we have the institutional strengthened grant. And part of it, with the condition that you have to make use of it for this kind of technical support to the plan, either making a long-term city development plan, 5-year capital development plan, or annual implementation plan makes use of the institutional grant for that purposes. Don't use it too much on chapati and lunch as governed by our Honorable President of Uganda. Use the development grant into the right purpose of it designed for. And last but not least, we said in the slide, we need to make sure that we quantify the benefit of the program. The quantitative data is very important. It shows how we can calculate the benefits from the intervention that we provide under the program, but don't because of the objective that we have to make it big and then we project it above the ability that we can deliver, right? So be candid in making sure that we provide a right figure for the right benefits. We can identify them as a direct beneficiary, as an indirect beneficiary. It's going to be a direct job or indirect job, but it has to be quantified in the right manner. So please, first and foremost, have to every individual of you should assess the operation implementation manual to see how the program is formed up, how it be implementing, and also how the result can be calculated to make sure that every program not new to the world. Just came on board for this USMID. As our colleague in Ministry of Local Government is mentioned, first and foremost, you have to meet the minimum condition first in order to earn money. And secondment is not encouraging. Okay, secondment is have very short-term minded, and we encourage you to have a permanent, substantive appointment of the staff to make sure that you have that staff, and also maintain it for the entirely 6 year of the program implementation, avoiding the high turnover. And the high turnover of staff actually also somewhat one of the indicators at the drag the performance of the program down if we don't manage it correctly. So with that, I'm very glad to be back to Mbale once more time, but I'm look forward to get to see Mbale clearly show how Mbale can contribute to the corridor development as we are together with government of Uganda developing the principle of enhancing the economic development through the corridor rather than scattered all over the country. So thank you very much.
We are good to go. However, I want to make a few comments on a number of issues. One, on the issue of staffing. We are working hard, of course, with the council to ensure that there is a constituted city service commission. Because without a city service commission, we can't have staff of our own. But we are grateful to the ministry because you have allowed us to temporarily fill these gaps by secondment. And for your information, members, the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development have already seconded to us a staff who will be filling the position of the city physical planner. So we are in the process of having also secondment from Mbale District Local Government for the Principal Environment Officer and also the one for the city internal auditor, the Principal Internal Auditor. So those ones we are going to work around the clock to ensure that those positions are filled so that we don't lose out on the money. And ideally, for the council, we should have the City Service Commission constituted before the end of this week so that we can beat time. Otherwise, we shall not be okay. The other issue is to do with O&M, operation and maintenance of all these facilities, of the investments that come. Members, we have actually been doing O&M amidst meager resources. As one of the members of the CDF, I mean the City Development Forum, we have of recent put back the street lights on the public street and also partly on the Mogadishu Hill Road and also Nabuyonga Rise. So those street lights have been put back, and now when you walk on these streets, they are lit. The lights on Bishop Wasike, we are hoping that when they work on the road, because there is a contractor under Ministry of Works and Transport, there are plans to have them restored. Otherwise, once we complete the restoration of these street lights, because then all the street lights at least Mbale will be lit, at least for those which were put in place before. So that one is in the plan. I'm also happy to inform you that we have stepped up efforts in ensuring that we increase on our local revenue performance. All of us, we are speaking the same language, the political leaders and also the technical staff. Last year, we are able to collect up to 3.4 billion. This year, we have collected up to 4.6 billion. So there will be some resources for O&M. We are also in the process of putting together a team for the day-to-day maintenance of the city infrastructure. And we are calling it a landscaping team. You may also have observed that on our streets, we are now planting flowers and trees. And we have a team which must keep on the ground to ensure that those flowers and the trees are maintained. So the trees which were planted, yes, the survival rate was not all that good, but of course with the measures that we are putting in place, we are sure that all of these flowers and the trees are going to survive. We had also earlier invested money in the replacement of the shrubs. These shrubs that covered with the channels, we have replaced quite a number of them. But of course they continue breaking, but we have continued to replace them to ensure the safety of the people who walk on our streets. So even in the coming budget and going forward, our measures are in place to ensure that we maintain this infrastructure. But of course, as all of us know, we shall maintain them if we are able to continue to improve on our local revenue, because the World Bank and the government do not give money for O&M. The money must come from us. Funding of CDF, yes, we must appreciate that we haven't been doing well, especially this financial year. I want to thank the CDF because they have actually been we call it voluntary work. They have been active, but we really haven't been facilitating them very well. But despite that, they have remained resilient and they have stuck with us and they have actually been performing. But we also observed that in the guidelines for ISG, they did not have provisions for the CDF. But we went ahead as a council and provided for their operations under the local revenue. So I want to give a commitment that we shall continue to avail resources to ensure that the CDF is facilitated to do their work. I think those are the issues I thought we should respond to. We have captured all your contributions, and we are going to take good use of them to ensure that we perform better in the program implementation. We thank you so much, and we shall always welcome you to Mbale. Every time you feel like you should come, for us we shall always be available to interact with you. As I conclude, we didn't start with the offices of the RCC, CISO, because they were engaged in other issues, security issues. There are some emergencies in this sub-region, and they were engaged. But I am happy to...
You say, if you are to forget, don't forget the two things: the selection of the contractors and the teamwork. And I think I've taken it seriously, that if we are going to move and we are going to implement the project very well, we need to consider this in place. And even while we are down there, I was able to talk with the in charge of procurement, and I said, you know what, for us to take over and do good work, you must help us in the selection of the contractors, people who are going to support this project. So we want to say that this is very serious for us. We are going to consider this to make sure that the project implementation is done well according to the design, so that we achieve the standards, because they are clear, the indicators are clear, as we should be able to really achieve this. The other thing that I see is that planting trees are very important in this region. And I was wondering, Town Clerk, whether we had trees for our guests to plant before they leave. Because the place is very hot, and they are helping us to really think about it seriously. So if we don't have the trees, you can send them, a few of them, so that they can plant around before we leave. But also telling ourselves that it should be a campaign to make sure that we plant more trees. So thank you so much for considering Mbale City. We do not just take it for granted. There are many cities that are coming to Mbale. We are very grateful, and this shows us a trusting relationship, that we are going to work together. We are committed as a political wing to make sure that we do our best and work together to implement this project. And together, the divisions, like you said, we are not going to be left. Everyone is going to be engaged. All the stakeholders are going to be brought on board, so that we will get to understand what we are doing. Even the people that we are going to do work, the roads, they should be able to know, because when we are moving there, people are looking at us. They are not understanding what is happening, seeing the many cars around. But I'm sure that we shall find time before implementation, to have a meetings with them, and explain and tell them what we are doing for purposes of ownership of what we are doing. So thank you so much. We pray that whatever we are talking about, we'll be able to implement well. We want to commit ourselves in the area of accountability and integrity as we handle this project. I want to thank you for coming. I say this for God and my country. I want to take this opportunity to invite the RCC to make his remarks, and I think close this meeting. I thank you.
Please, we have people here, we can work with them, they can work with you. So we use local labor. Our role as the Office of the President, we do the oversight role of supervision. So, of supervision. So for us, we shall be looking at what you're doing. Eh? But the other thing is, we beg that you expedite the process. There are roads that were opened, but up to now, they are still opened. Actually, we're about to lose the votes because they opened them some year back, saying USMID would come and do this road, the Nabuyo road. And actually, people have come back today in the roads. And now, fighting them back, to see that they go away. It is also going to be a problem. Yeah? So at times when we start something, let us expedite the process, and we see before people blame us. In this new government, which is running to 2031, I think the theme is no sleep, and you know what?
No more sleep.
No more sleep and no more corruption. So, for us as people who oversee government projects, for us we shall put our eyes. I'm not saying only on USMID, we shall be seeing. Yeah? All in the city here, we know there are different departments. So for us, we shall be seeing. And this time we shall be even touching. Yeah? Not only seeing from a distance, but we are saying we shall be there. Yeah? My senior one time was saying, but before we come here, why don't you come to us? And at times also explain your position before we come and say we want this and that. So the government wrote to us, they want to see shadow work done and then completed the projects. And at least we have seen very many of them in Mbale City. So before we submit in the list, maybe people who are concerned should visit the office and see whether the projects are in their department and they complete them before they are submitted. You have seen now, today we have the minister in what? In Mbale. And the next time we will be here. So let us try to say, let us try to do what we are supposed to do. The shadow work should stop. Incomplete projects should also be completed so that we run the thing, we run the government very well. We have free air time. Like somebody was saying, we should go to the radios. We have free air time. But Town Clerk, I must report to you that your staff don't want to go to radios to annoy the people. Because by telling them the truth, they are annoying the public. You tell the people the truth, that here is this, here they do this. But people will say, there's one time they told us, Town Clerk Mugisa of the division. Someone was saying, you people, you are not from Bugisu. They will not hate you. But we are all government, So let us put our tribal heart down, or our people, and work for them so that people see great work done. Otherwise, I want to thank you for choosing Mbale. Please, like you said, the program is about to wind up, but if there is still more, like the mayor Northern is intimated, you also take also to Northern. Otherwise, I want to thank you for listening to me. I declare the meeting closed. Thank you.